Yo, what's good, people? It's your boy living in London. People will do anything for clout, eh? Anything for money. Even sell their soul. Even promote violence, death, destruction, and poison, and all that other shit. Who am I talking about, people? Who am I talking about? This guy, Kenny Allstar. And it's mad because I've watched some of his videos before and I've enjoyed it. I've listened to the freestyles. Remember, I listen to rap, I listen to drill and all the other stuff. The difference between me and most of his audiences, I'm a grown-ass man. I can discern between reality and fiction. I haven't got no gang member friends. I haven't got no gang member enemies, you know? All that other stuff. So I'm cool to just listen to that and use it as entertainment. But this guy, Kenny Allstar, his audience is mainly young teenagers to young men, yeah, or women, and most of the stuff on there is kill, murder, and it's all gang related. It's all about pushing drugs and all the other stuff, and this guy's jumping around like these guys are saying something proper. And the mad thing about it is, the reason why it's getting so mad in London now is because all these rappers are actually real. So all the people you're seeing on there are talking about actual incidents. Most of the people you're seeing on there are talking about actual incidents. Stabbing this guy, doing this and doing that. And this 29-year-old man who's from South London himself, who mostly sees the bloody destruction he's causing, is jumping around and promoting it. And at the same time, the BBC are giving this guy a platform to do that. But then the BBC will report on the news about how London stabbing is through the roof and we need to do something and it's not fair. They may interview a mum who's lost her son. The BBC, when I think about it, are devils, people, you know? Because they are playing both sides of the fence. They are gassing these young kids up by allowing people like Kenny Allstar to promote all this death and violence. And then when it happens, they're like, don't know how that happened. Most of the bloody violence, most of the gang members are rappers, or if they're not rappers themselves, their friends are rappers. There's a gang war going on around here, and the disrespectful songs from both sides about people that have been killed. I walk down the street sometimes as a young guy I know, all of a sudden he's dead, gone. Happened a few times when I was living in Crescent, and even around here, there's constant gang violence. I see it on a monthly basis, you know? I see it a lot. And I was chatting to Mizzlemac. Shout out to Mizzlemac, yeah? I was chatting to him in jail last year because my boy was in the same jail as him. I was like, let me talk to him because I heard he changed his life around. He weren't really doing the gang thing no more. He was still repping in jail, but he was on his Muslim thing, on his deen. So because of that, he didn't even go by Mizzlemac no more. He didn't want that to do with the entertainment business. I don't know how he's going to feel when he gets out, but that's what he was telling me when he was in there. So when these little gang members, little drillers go to jail, as long as they don't kill no one, sometimes they may learn a lesson. And then when they come out, they may not commit the crime. But more times than not, these guys are wasting their life, killing each other, making songs about it. And this guy, Kenny Allstar, is promoting it. I wish I had an editor so I could show you some bits of how this guy is jumping around his studio as young men rap about killing other young men in London, from his ends, from my ends, from London in general, from England. He's creating and not creating, but he's maintaining and hyping up and giving these gang members that are really talking about killing, drilling, selling drugs and all the other stuff and influencing other children. When I'm looking through this guy's, Kenny Allstar's videos, guess who I see as well? Jordan McCann on there, talking about stabbing people up and all this other stuff. And I'm like, didn't this guy get beaten up already? Didn't this guy get beaten up on camera and run away? I'm going to put the video back up there so you can see Jordan McCann get his teeth punched out. He had some false teeth. The security guard punched him outside McDonald's and his teeth went flying out. And then, what else happened to him? There was just some other stuff. When I was chatting to Dougie Joyce and Dean Lynch Ward, they told me personally that 3 times they'd stuck it on Jordan McCann. They tried to find him and the guy was running, hiding in Manchester. But yet when you see him on camera, this guy's the biggest gangster, promoting all this crazy stuff. And bare kids follow Jordan McCann. He's got a big audience. Now I've got to say, sorry to his brother Pa, sorry to Jerry. Listen, boys, I said I wouldn't talk about your brother no more, but he's taking the piss, bro. He really, really is. Along with all these other guys, everyone's going to get in that. All these rappers from London. If you're rapping about this gang life, and there's stuff out there which shows it otherwise, most of these guys that are going to get nicked are going to snitch on each other. They're all rat-scared kids. But in the studio, when they've got their knife on them and there's a few of them in there, they feel safe. So they say the most disrespectful and crazy shit. But then when they're on the roads and they got to live by that, some of them don't actually live up to it. Or some of them do. Mizzle Mac, there's loads. Lowski as well. Lowski just went jail for a gun. And that's where I see it. Because Scar City was talking about Lowski and how he's fascinated with guns and all the other stuff. And then it cuts to a clip of Kenny Allstar jumping around the fucking studio as Lowski's rapping about guns. I'm telling you people, I'm telling you, these guys are literally selling out our kids for some money. So he can go and buy himself a Gucci jacket, maybe buy himself a decent ass and tell himself, you're not a DJ, bruv. You are not a fucking DJ. Kenny Allstar, you are a promoter of death. I see you like you talking about on some podcast, because I tried to watch some of it, but you are a boring fucker when you're not promoting death and destruction, and it's hard to watch your shit, even though I've got to talk about you. So I'm watching a podcast and it's about an hour and a half long, and he's talking about how he's a Muslim, a good Muslim. You may be a good Muslim, but you're a bad fucking person. And I guarantee you, hundreds of kids, hundreds, maybe even more, have been influenced by the stuff that you promote. It may not be you rapping, it may not be your lyrics, it may not be how you feel that people should handle their problems. But when you promote that, and when you push that out there, and when you give these guys a platform, sound effects, camera angles, all the other stuff, what do you think that shit's doing on the roads, my boy? What do you think that stuff's doing? 2 of my friends got 33 years last year for gun violence. Because you gas up these kids, some people don't have the common sense. Some people don't have the intelligence to get out of their life. And they actually go through life committing crimes, committing worse crimes. Like some of my friends, like last year, I say 2 of them got 31 years each for killing someone. Gassed up, they deserve it. It happens. You can take someone's life, it's what you get. Whether you're my friend or not, I'm not going to stick up for you when you do ignorant, dumb shit. And I definitely would not promote and allow people to instigate and continue gang violence on my platform. How much money do you need to make? How many people do you need to send to the graveyard, send to prison, and send to hospital before you make enough money and you think, you know what, maybe I should do something else? There's a DJ, there's a YouTuber in America called DJ Academics. He used to get a lot of stick because he used to cover Chicago. And Chicago had a lot of gang violence. And he would glorify it a bit. I love that show. But when you look back on it and you actually see that you're actually making it worse. You're actually having a hand in these people trying to do something to someone so they can rap about it. Or they've already done something, they rap about it, and then they go to jail. Listen, these are our children we are talking about. And organizations like the BBC, Columbia Records, who Thingy signed to, what's his name? Kenny Allstar signed to, they need to be held accountable. If Andrew Tate is getting held accountable for his words, how are we allowing the BBC, all these record companies, to promote these young boys that are talking about active beefs and active gangs, killings, going in and out of jail, and there's nothing to do with them? They're squeaky clean. Nah, man, something don't sit right with me, and we're going to go hard on these people. And it's not all, and see on with all these rappers, it's not like all rappers are fucked up. Like some rappers actually, they toe the line well. You know what I'm saying? They actually do it well. So it's not every rapper, but it's a lot of these drill rappers and a lot of these gang members doing it. Anyway, people, it's your boy living in London. Like, subscribe, comment, share. I'll see you in a bit. Just giving you my thoughts. Tell me what yours are in the comments. Peace, I'm out.